There it is. There it is. Let's reload that. Hello, everybody. How are you? Oh no, I didn't change the titles. Oh no.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Oh no, I didn't change the title.
Oh no. Does it change? That's the question. I think it does, actually. You can't change the titles after the fact, so I think you can change it on YouTube though. Yeah, YouTube switched up. What's up, Trey? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Jimmy. It is a heroic morning indeed. So, in case you guys were wondering whether or not it was, 'tis. Truly is. I have my coffee right here. A quiet morning so far. That's good. I enjoy quiet mornings. I don't know if that's normally a good thing, but I enjoy it. How was your guys' weekend? Did anything exciting happen this weekend? Anything of note? Top of the morning. Top of the morning to ya. Are you how do y'all feel about Mondays? Trying to figure out how to produce more content. Interesting. Is this for your book? Content's really hard to produce. I'm not good at it. So if you can figure that out, you can just let me know. Coffee with Colay. That is it. That's the new morning. It's the new morning show called Coffee with Colay. You're meh on Mondays. Got your whole family to play throw avocado. That sounds like a good time. Depends on the Monday. I guess that's fair. I am in the group of people that is actually a fan of Mondays, don't like Tuesdays. Tuesdays are tough for me. Tuesdays are my hard day of the week. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna finish my book and make more videos. That's a lot, but hey, if anyone can do it, it's Trey. So I'm rooting for you. Yeah. I love that we're all rolling in here. Who's tired this morning? Is anyone feeling a little bit more exhausted this morning, perhaps than normal? Maybe who's feeling energized. Let's just get like a morning mood check. How are we feeling? Are we feeling like this week's we're gonna conquer this week? Are we feeling like this week's gonna be tough? What are we thinking? Tuesday's the underdog. Yeah. Tired. We're feeling. Jimmy's got their hand raised, so probably tired, energetic, both. Yeah. Tony had a great weekend and is happy today. Sleepy and coffee is not kicked in yet. Yeah, I feel that. Amy. I tell you what, I'm only awake because of this. Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I'll bring some excitement. Clap. For those of you who have watched the most recent update of the Heroes Journal launch, at the end of the video, Nick and I both clap. And we didn't rehearse it, but it's the exact same time. It was pretty exciting. So, anyways, already went to the gym this morning. I felt great. Bridget out here killing it. That's Nick right there. He just woke up, so we're feeling it. Trey said, I picked myself up out of bed. I'm fighting stress. I should be happy because I graduated with my writing degree, but everyone is saying that finding writing jobs is more difficult. Hey, one step at a time. Super, that's amazing. Congratulations on graduating. It's one step at a time. I love that though. Congratulations. Jimmy says morning, Nick. That's one of the fun things about being in a much smaller house is that there's not a lot of places for me to live stream. So you're bound to run into somebody, you know. One of the reoccurring characters of the Hero's Journal.
It's true.
So, yeah, see, there he is. Also, at 9 a.m. is kind of like everyone's wake up time. I feel like everyone talks about bedtimes, but no one has a really good word for wake up time. Wake up call. Like, my wake up time's at 9 a.m. No one says that. I never wear my white hoodie because I'm afraid of stains and dinginess. You know? I wear my white hoodie a lot. I use a lot of like spray and wash. I'll use a ton of spray and wash on this thing just so that I can stay nice and clean. All right. We're gonna do a fun game. You ready? I'm gonna make a form. You got moved up on the lap, by the way, so that's pretty exciting. I'm gonna make a form. So what we're going to do on this form is I'm going to send it out. I'm going to put it in the chats. And you're going to put your name in. Then you put your favorite quote. All right? And then I'm going to spin the wheel. And we're going to read off that person's favorite quote for the day. All right? Is that fair? Can everyone do that for me? Favorite quote in the form. I'm spinning the wheel, reading the quote, or inspired. So I have two quotes that I want to read. So while we're doing this, while you guys are going to the form, open up new tabs. You can just listen to me talking about my favorite quote. So I have two. These aren't my favorite, but these two I like a lot. So the first one comes from the novel, Catch-22. And it reads, he had decided to live forever or die in the attempt. And his only mission each time he went up was to come down alive. You know, it's funny because I love that quote. I'm not a very, YOLO kind of person. I'm not, a very, oh, you gotta go for it and live life to the fullest. I'm not, crazy. I don't go hard like that. But for some reason, I read that book. It's one of my favorite books of all time as well. I read that book, and it really inspired me. I was something inside of me was kind of, lit up and really enjoyed it. So that's the first one. And this one is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Sorry, I have to find it on this website. He says this. I have no churlish objection to the circumnavigation of the globe for the purposes of art, study, and benevolence, so that man is first domesticated, or does not go abroad with the hopes of finding something greater than he knows. He who travels to be amused, or to get somewhat which he does not carry, travels away from himself, and grows old, even in young, among old things. In Thebes, in Palmyra, his will and mind have become old and dilapidated as they. He carries ruins to ruins. Now, I'm not as anti-traveling as that quote may seem, but I really enjoy the thought of, I don't even actually enjoy it, it's actually kind of sobering, but just kind of having to face the changes that are necessary to make, instead of like doing kind of quick fixes. That's kind of where my brain goes, is to do, that's like, yeah. Anyways, I don't have a lot of thoughts on it. I guess I just really like it. Rachel said that's one of those books I read in 9th grade and really need to reread as an adult to see if I actually like it. Assign reading made me dislike books. I know, like something about being told. Jimmy said, I'm totally a YOLO person, probably to a fault. I hate missing out, so it's hard for me to say no to things. Yeah, I'm a great knower, which is unfortunate because I feel like I could have a lot more fun if I was a better yeser. Alrighty. Do. See if I can get this on. Let's see if I can get this on here. Sorry about that, everybody. Oops. I went momentarily not live, so you won't be able to see it, but that's okay. I'm spinning the wheel. All right, we're reading Melissa's quote. Melissa's quote says, "Courage, dear heart." Wow. So deep. So thoughtful. All right, we'll do another one. Rita, welcome back. All right, Lori wanted 2, so we just landed on Lori. Lori, you may post the second one if you'd like. So the first one Lori posted is, the 2 most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Did I read the wrong quote, Melissa? I really like that quote, Lori, by the way. I really, really do. I really do. Also, we don't really have to spin the wheel. I can just read all of everyone's quotes. Because there's really not that many, so I can just do that. Trey sent out, do or do not, there is no try. Yoda. Great one. LKNJ said, to read, make our speak English good. Speak English good. I read that poorly, so that's kind of funny. Yvonne said, God loves me in spite of myself. Ruth said, I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me, and when it is gone, past, I will turn the inner eyes to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. Frank Herbert. Yeah, oh yeah, I saw that movie. But I know it's a book too, which is mostly a book. It's more of a book than a movie. Chris said, everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear is my quote for this month. Wow. That's a great quote. I've always actually thought that. I've always thought that, like, not even like fear, but just like on the other side of like difficulties. A lot of times I feel like there's a lot of really great things on the other side of like overcoming something, whether it be pain, fear, anxiety, whatever it may be. Jason said, be a doer, not a don'ter. Jimmy said, the glory of friendship is not the outstretched hand, nor the kindly smile, nor the joy of companionship. It is the spiritual inspiration that comes to one when they discover that someone else believes in them and is willing to trust them. Look at us, Jimmy, both rocking Ralph Waldo Emerson today. Love that. 2 favorites from Jim Henson. My hope still is to leave the world a bit better than when I got here. Than the most sophisticated people I know inside, they're all children. I like that a lot, Dustin. Rashad said, too many mind on sword, mind people, watch, mind enemy, too many mind, no mind, from The Last Samurai. Is that the one with Tom Cruise? I like that movie. I saw it when I was a kid and I really enjoyed it. Always follow your heart, unless your heart is bad with directions. That's good. Y'all are like full of these quotes. These are actually ones I've never heard, so this is pretty exciting. Battle not with the affairs of dragons, for you are crunchy and are good with mustard. That's a good one, Victoria. The people encounter one another, but the hills never meet, nor the mountains. Wow. Chris said, the problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem. Dang. And then Claire hit us with progress, not perfection. And I love that. Everything happens for a reason, the good and the bad. And that one's from my mom. I love that. Well, that was Kyle's lap time of quotes. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Yeah, I don't. What inspires you guys? Like, what is something that helps you galvanize your spirit? So when there's moments where things are really difficult, you're able to kind of overcome things that maybe you wouldn't be able to. For me, I'm very much like a team-oriented person. So I try to, as best I can, like think about all my most dangerous and terrifying tasks through the lens of like how I can make my group stronger by doing these things. Rita likes to focus on things that bring joy. I love that. Laura likes to focus on goals and desires. Victoria said looking past them to the finish line. I love that. Visualizing. Honestly, my child, I've got to show him what strong is and to never doubt himself. That's amazing. I love that. Yeah, I think perspective. Has anyone ever read Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl? It's very like it's kind of like one of my. I don't know if it's everybody if it's necessarily like if it appeals to everybody's kind of psyche, but for me, I really enjoy that book. I try to read it once a year. Just because I really enjoy the idea of logotherapy and like having something to look forward to and to focus on, even when moments are as bleak as they have ever been. Having something to look forward to I think is for me at least is very helpful. So that wasn't very insightful. I just said very a lot. But yeah, I don't know if there's any like pieces of work that are like that you've read that you're like, holy cow, this is like life changing. James said, going back over the challenges I've already overcome. Sometimes the strength to move forward comes from the proof how far you've already come. That is beautiful, James. I running. So one of my kind of like intro to the world of goal setting came from running. That was the first time I ever really had a real goal that I think I made hard enough and put out in front of me further enough that I had to like actually overcome a lot of stuff to get there. And one thing that we do as runners is we keep a training log, and the reason you do that is because you write down how you felt after a run, not so that you can have a moment of like catharsis in that particular moment, but because when you look back, you can see like, oh, I went for a 3-mile run today and it was really, really hard. So on days where things went well, you can look back, you're like, oh, wow, it used to be really hard for me to run 3 miles. Or vice versa. It's like you're having a really tough time and you like look back and it's like, I went for a great run today. Life is good. And you can remember those feelings, and you can remember that like, okay, this is just a moment. I can overcome this. Anyways, Lauren said, I think about the past and how far I've come. Amy said, kind of the this too shall pass mentality, knowing hardships are only temporary. Similarly, remember that survived every single rough day I've ever had. It's true. You're undefeated. Yeah, does anyone have any specific obstacles this week that they're trying to tackle? Maybe we can all send some positive vibes, It's much like the allies and threats thing, where if you can give your obstacles a name, it takes a lot of the power away from them. Because you're prepared, you're ready for it, and then also you're gonna have 26 heroes who are aware of them, and who are gonna be cheering you on as you take on these this week's things. Rachel said, similarly, I try to remind myself at all times, F it, why not? And it worked out. That gives me the courage to continue to say F it. Let's go. Let's go. That's great, Rachel. Melissa said, my basement flooded again, waiting for an expensive plumber. I'm sorry to hear that. But you're going to power through it. This too shall pass. Victoria said, my obstacle this week is finding out why I'm hurting physically so much. That is hard, but I hope you can find your answers, Victoria. Rita said, I have a trip next week that I would need to rest for this week so I can have the energy. I love the preparation. Jimmy said, harvesting honey from our bees tomorrow for the first time. Excited but intimidated. Yeah, it's a lot of bees. But hey, fresh honey? Kidding me? That's going to be so exciting. Amy said, this week's challenge, going through everything, packing what we're keeping and trying to keeping and trying to sell/donate what we don't need in preparation for the move. So much stuff. Hey, as someone who just went through it, I know exactly what you feel, and I'm sorry, that's really hard. Dustin said, just making it to the end of the school year. This is my final week with students, then just 2 days after that to go. Hey, Dustin, you're going to kill it. Enjoy the time with your students. But yeah, congratulations to make it to the end of the year. 6 to 10 pounds of honey. Jeez Louise. Jamie said, working on 3 essays and a group project all in 1 week. Hey, that is hard, but also kind of fun. These are the moments you remember. You're like, wow, that was fun. Lauren said, my therapist told me on Saturday that she thinks I'm autistic. Kind of blew my mind and is strange. Well, Lauren, high functioning. Yeah, that is something that's new information. But I'm sure you're going to be able to work with them and work with your close group of allies to kind of figure out what that looks like. Wow, I love it. I love that people are like planning out their weeks and are kind of looking forward. I think it's really important to kind of see what's coming at us and to be heroic. And then now we have other people who are able to be allies to each other. So we will keep moving on. Just keep swimming, as Dory would say. But it's good. Ruth said, going to the gym for the first time since 2020. Nervous I won't be able to keep it going. You know, Ruth, one of the biggest things about going to the gym is just do enough that you're proud of yourself, but don't do too much, because sacrificing tomorrow is worse than doing too much today. I guess those are the same thing. Those are not worse or better there. But yeah, just make sure that you're comfortable, and be kind to yourself as you go through it. Abby said, I'm wrapping up last week as a college student. Definitely bittersweet. Wow. I feel like we don't have a lot of people who are like in college. I feel like we have a lot of people who are like finishing college who come to the live streams and hang out. Maybe something happens when you hit a senior. You're like, I need to hang out with Nick and Kyle. Yvonne said, turning 60. It happened so fast, and started reading The Vein of Gold by Julia Cameron. Yvonne, that's a cool update. I love that you said it happened so fast, because that just makes it sound like you've been living a life that is like fun and enjoyable, and you just turned around and you were like, wow, look at that. It's exam time here in College Station. Oh, I'm sure that it's a ghost town right now, Jimmy. Or maybe it's not a ghost town. Maybe it's crazy right now because everyone's like taking their tests and then going partying. I still have 1 year of grad school. Started my summer semester this week. 1 year left of grad school. Laura, what are you studying? James, the challenge this week is just putting one foot in front of the other. Just getting things done that need doing. I love that. You know, that is the way that it is sometimes, James. But I love that you broke it down to the simplest task. Just keep moving forward, and that's all you can focus on. I have 3 funerals to go to this week, said Beth. Wow. Well, we're all with you. We're all sending positive vibes to you, Beth. Museum archives? Dang, Laura, that's so cool. Does that mean you're going to be a museum curator? Is that what people do? There's probably a lot more stuff you could do. That was probably a relatively silly question, but love to hear it. Well, everyone, thank you all. Thank you all. Archivist. Okay, yeah, I guess that makes a lot more sense. College feels like a lifetime away. Listening to Hero morning while working. Yeah, college does feel like a lifetime away. Just my husband and I were going to really dive into why we weren't conceiving. We found out that we're pregnant. I'm so excited. Holy cow, Melissa, that's amazing. Congratulations for on the news. I'm so happy for you. That's so exciting. I'm going to outer space next week. I wish I had the Galaxy of Astorta journal already with me. Yeah. That's so cool, Rita. Going to outer space. I love it. All right. Thank you all for being heroic. Melissa, thanks for sharing this news with us. Congratulations. I will be back tomorrow. We will have heroic mornings tomorrow. Just know that we don't do things because they're without obstacles. We do things because they're enjoyable. And we want to do them. So have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow. Remember, when you can, be heroic. Be an ally to your fellow heroes. And sometimes, as James would say, you just got to put one foot in front of the other. Have a good one.